Welcome to USA War Stories in Depth, where courage lives forever. These are the untold journeys of real American heroes.
In the early hours of February 2nd, 2024, deep inside the Pentagon, silence hung heavy over the operations room. Intelligence reports confirmed attacks on U.S. personnel in the Middle East. Within minutes, the call came down from the highest command, authorization granted for a precision retaliation. As satellites tracked hostile targets across Iraq and Syria, the men and women of the United States Air Force prepared to unleash controlled fury from above. Across the desert air bases, engines ignited with thunderous power. One by one, the strike fighters rolled into formation under the cloak of night. Each aircraft carried precision-guided munitions, locked onto targets that had taken months of intelligence to map. Inside the cockpits, pilots checked coordinates, ran final diagnostics, and gave a silent nod to the mission ahead. As the radio crackled with "cleared for takeoff," the sky trembled, and Operation Iron Resolve was underway. At 32,000 feet, the roar of engines became a whisper against the cold night wind. The fleet had crossed into hostile airspace, every radar ping, every heartbeat measured in seconds. The pilots flew in silence, guided by satellites, encrypted radio codes, and trust. Below them lay miles of sand and silence, hiding the threats they'd come to destroy. In that vast darkness, every light could be a target or a trap, and the mission had only just begun. Thousands of miles away, inside command centers and airborne cockpits, digital eyes swept the terrain. Every heat signature, every movement was analyzed, confirmed, and double-checked. The targets were identified: militia strongholds, ammunition depots, command hubs. One wrong call could ignite the region. One precise strike could silence the threat. With crosshairs locked and countdowns begun, the fate of the mission rested on a trigger and a heartbeat. At precisely 0200 hours, the first strike was unleashed. Missiles screamed across the night sky, leaving trails of fire against the stars. The targets below had no warning. Only the brief whistle of incoming steel before the world erupted in flame. Commanders watched from monitors as coordinates turned to fireballs, confirming direct hits with chilling accuracy. The message was clear. The United States had struck back, swift, decisive, and unstoppable. Moments after the first impact, a second wave of fire blanketed the horizon. Precision strikes lit up the desert like a storm of controlled fury. Each detonation marked the end of an enemy stronghold, months in the making. Pilots called out confirmations through static-filled comms, their voices calm under chaos. From Iraq's western plains to Syria's hidden valleys, the sky burned bright with retribution. In those minutes, every target fell, methodical, exact, unrelenting. Panic tore through the enemy ranks as the first explosions hit. Fighters rushed from burning compounds, shouting orders into broken radios. In the chaos, vehicles collided, ammunition stores ignited, and command links failed. What had been a fortified network was now a field of confusion and fear. Above them, the steady hum of U.S. aircraft filled the night. Unseen, unreachable, unstoppable. The airstrikes had shattered not just their bases, but their morale. Desperation took hold. In a last attempt to fight back, enemy forces launched surface-to-air missiles into the blackened sky. Their radars locked onto phantom echoes, their tracers chasing shadows. But the American pilots were trained for this. Flares burst from their aircraft, dazzling the night, breaking every lock. Each missile vanished into the desert void, lost to deception and precision. The defenders fired wildly, but the strike force remained untouchable, ghosts above a burning battlefield. Back at the command center, every strike was tracked with ruthless precision. Officers monitored live feeds, cross-referencing coordinates and calculating every impact. Each explosion was confirmed, every compound assessed. The operation unfolded like clockwork, a symphony of destruction directed from thousands of miles away. In that room, strategy and technology combined to ensure that every action from the sky hit its mark, leaving nothing to chance. Every strike came with heavy scrutiny. Commanders monitored the surrounding areas, ensuring civilian lives were spared wherever possible. Each decision balanced mission success against the risk to innocence. In the desert night, smoke and fire revealed the targets, but careful eyes filtered the chaos, separating threats from bystanders. Precision wasn't just about hitting the enemy. It was about protecting the innocent amidst the fury of war. As the strikes continued, chaos forced the enemy to retreat. Vehicles tore across the desert, kicking up clouds of dust and firelight. Commanders tracked every movement, confirming the disruption of hostile forces. The operation had broken their formation, shattered morale, and forced a withdrawal. In the darkness, the precision and might of the U.S. air campaign was undeniable. Every retreat a testament to strategy, technology, and resolve. With the dust settling across Iraq and Syria, mission assessment began. Every strike, every target was analyzed, confirming objectives had been achieved. Commanders studied the aftermath, ensuring all actionable intelligence was accounted for. The operation's precision was measured not just in destruction, but in the calculated restraint that minimized collateral damage. In that room, strategy and valor converged, turning chaos into a tactical victory. Even in retreat, the enemy sought to regroup. Small bands gathered around the ruins of their compounds, assessing losses and attempting to restore command. The night offered cover, but they were never unseen. U.S. drones tracked every movement, mapping the recovery efforts. What remained of their forces was scattered, shaken, and vulnerable. Each regrouping attempt only highlighted the precision and dominance of the airstrikes above. With enemy forces attempting to regroup, follow-up strikes were launched. Every secondary target was assessed, every compound precisely neutralized. Explosions lit up the desert night as insurgent positions crumbled beneath coordinated air power. Commanders monitored with satisfaction. Each strike not only destroyed material, but dismantled the enemy's ability to retaliate. Precision and timing had turned the tide once more. As the first light of dawn crept over the desert, U.S. forces moved to secure the perimeter. Drones scanned for remaining threats while ground units advanced cautiously, confirming the success of each strike. Every street, every building, every corner was assessed for danger. The battlefield was quiet but not safe, and vigilance was paramount. Victory depended not just on air power, but on boots on the ground securing every inch of the operational zone. With the airstrikes complete, the focus shifted to assessment. Drones and reconnaissance aircraft scanned the desert, capturing every destroyed position and lingering threat. Analysts and forward command centers pored over maps and footage, ensuring every objective had been met. What remained of enemy forces was counted, cataloged, and tracked. In this careful review, victory was measured not just in explosions, but in precision, control, and strategic success. As the first light broke across the desert, the strike force began its journey home. Jets returned in formation, engines humming a solemn rhythm. Pilots reflected on the night's precision strikes, the danger faced, and the lives impacted. Ground crews awaited with signals and checklists, ready to receive their heroes. Though the mission was complete, the echoes of the operation would linger in every map, report, and memory. Back at the debriefing room, every strike, every movement, and every decision was reviewed. Analysts confirmed objectives, evaluated effectiveness, and assessed intelligence gathered from the operation. Lessons were logged, successes noted, and potential improvements mapped for future missions. In this room, strategy and execution merged, turning a high-stakes operation into a blueprint for continued precision and control. As smoke cleared over Iraq and Syria, the full impact of the airstrikes became evident. Enemy infrastructure was neutralized, command networks disrupted, and operational advantage secured. Commanders reviewed the battlefield from high vantage points, understanding the broader implications. Every decision, every strike, contributed to strategic objectives, ensuring the safety of Allied forces and reinforcing U.S. military dominance in the region. As the sun set on the desert, the mission's impact became clear. Precision, courage, and coordination had turned chaos into controlled victory. Those who carried out the operation reflected on their actions, the lives protected, the threats eliminated, and the lessons learned. The story of February 2024 would live on as a testament to discipline, strategy, and the relentless resolve of the United States military. The skies have fallen silent, but the stories of courage, strategy, and sacrifice continue. Subscribe to USA War Stories and witness real military operations, frontline heroism, and the untold battles that shape history. Click now to watch more and stay on the front lines with us.